Spartacus as a series was something that I was tertiarily aware of, okay? Just watching different entertainment channels over the past couple of years, every once in a while, it was a series that would come up that somebody would say, oh yeah, that's a really good show, you should go out there and watch it. But the conversation around it would in fact kind of dry up. And given the fact that, yeah, okay, it's, had its glory days back in the cut, now approaching, well, okay, the first season came out in 2011, so yeah, it's getting to be 15 years along in the tooth, so for better or for worse, it wasn't really something that was discussed all that much. And then, a couple of months back, Random Film Talk, a channel that I really like, I think he does exceptionally good material, just decided to drop a 7.5 hour long video documenting the genius that is Spartacus Blood and Sand. And I found myself really enjoying that video, and then going out there and buying every season on Blu-ray. And now, at the time that you guys are watching this, I'm into my third rewatch of the entire series. I really like this show, and back at the time when this series, the spin-off series, was first announced and the cringy ass trailer dropped, I didn't do a video on the trailer, mostly because, well, I didn't care about the show at all whatsoever, and it just simply looked like, oh god, okay, so they're just dragging back an old IP, sticking a chick in it, making it lame and gay, and fans are gonna hate it, and it's just gonna be something to laugh at towards the end of the year. I don't even think I made a video on this trailer, even though it got ratioed into the ground. 5.6k upvotes, 46,000 downvotes. Like, it was a calamity in the making. And yeah, you could just, see, okay, female gladiator. It's like, oh my god, this is gonna be so stupid. But after watching through the show, and yeah, I can say justifiably it's brilliant. And I've talked about it a little bit in the recent weeks as I've been watching through the show. I got some problems with Vengeance. That would be I guess it's the second season, but it's the third one that came. It's a very troubled production, okay, because Andy Whitfield, the original Spartacus, which you probably know or maybe you heard of, okay, he was excellent in the role, and then unfortunately he got diagnosed with cancer during the release of the first season. Then he would unfortunately pass away. It ended up at a point in time where, he would go into remission, but then at the same time, Starz wanted to continue on with the series, but because, Andy was in such a trepidatious state at that point in time, they just decided to do a really short miniseries, which ended up being Gods of the Arena, which is another tremendous, 6 episodes, and Random Film Talk just recently did a video on that one. I've been trying to watch it as well, but, over the past weekend, I was a little bit busy, but yeah, hopefully I'll get through that as well. But yeah, I can justifiably say Gods of the Arena, it's probably, it's a lot more consistent than Blood and Sand. Do I think it's better? That one's tough to say, but I always had some problems with Vengeance, okay? On my first rewatch, I was kind of down on the season because there's a bunch of different problems. I don't want to get into them because I really don't want to spoil the show, but there's some complex characters that get really simplified. There's some certain plot beats that I think are not as fully fleshed out as possible. There are some interesting character decisions, and there's some interesting decisions from the writers, full stop, that I really don't agree with, in so much as they want to try to make you sympathize with certain characters that it really doesn't resonate when you know the entire body of work of those characters. And it's like, yeah, you're kind of approaching mass murder, and why should I really care about what's happening to you? So I had some problems with Vengeance. And on my second rewatch, some of them ended up getting alleviated, but spoiler without a spoiler, that final episode is just a big calamitous stupid battle that makes absolutely zero sense. Don't like it at all whatsoever, even on the second rewatch. Maybe the third will just soften my stance even further, but yeah, Vengeance is definitely the weakest season, and going through and watching War of the Damned again, the final season, it's actually, coming out even better. Crassus is awesome, but anyways, I digress. Going back to that point where I was talking about, trying to resonate with a character that has done some horrific things, now that I understand that, this is going to center around Ashur, even if it's, this split reality that I guess I gotta spoil. Okay, just go ahead a few seconds if you don't want to have Vengeance spoiled for you. But 3, 2, 1, Ashur is killed by Navia during Glaber's siege of Vesuvius. So this is supposed to be the fork in the road where I guess Ashur isn't a complete fucking retard and finishes that fight. And I don't even know how they find a way to get man, it's going to be interesting because it's kind of assumed, and it was one of the big problems that I had to begin with. It's like, okay, cool, why didn't Ashur just finish that fight? But with the full context that he kind of knew that he was a dead man walking, going up there to treat with Spartacus and the rest of them to begin with. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna work it, so it makes sense that he could go up there and treat with them and then end up inheriting the Ludus Abadiatus at the end of it, because that was kind of set up heading into the final couple episodes of vengeance. But if that's the avenue that they're going to take, a post-vengeance, post-quelling of the slave rebellion Ashur, that's going to be a bridge too far for so many people, because at this point in time, Ashur is probably the most objectionable character in the entire series, and that is in fact saying something. But then you think, okay, maybe the showrunners who are coming back for this production, maybe they'll be able to turn something around, kind of like what they did with War of the Damned, and this might not exactly be a cursed production, but then and you start to look at everything else involved, and then you know that, yeah, God, man, like, it's just going to be such a wasted opportunity, because Ashur's, like, he's a really interesting character. It's just, as a protagonist, as one of the main characters, because for as much information that we have on this, we don't actually have a lot in regards to plot. All we have is just the ramblings of a madman, but it could be good, I guess, maybe. But yeah, the 5th Spartacus series finally got a release date, because yeah, even just going back to the cringe trailer that's right here, like, it was just 2 months ago. God, when was the debut? Yeah, July 26th. Okay, so yeah, now by the time that you guys see this, 3 months, I guess. There's just been no good conversation around it. No good conversation at all, outside of people going and trying to be ruthlessly optimistic about it. But 13 years ago, yes, Ashur, spoilers, died in vengeance, but what if he didn't? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's pretty much the premise for the new series, Spartacus, House of Ashur, which we know will premiere on Starz with its first 2 episodes. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, because Confidence shows, like The Penguin, yeah, they just dropped 1 episode, but on December 5th. Oh boy. So Stephen S. DeKnight is back behind the Spartacus shield for Starz with Spartacus House of Ashur. And yes, Stephen S. DeKnight, also of Netflix Daredevil fame, an acolyte of Joss Whedon, worked on Buffy, worked on Angel, also did that horrific sequel to Pacific Rim. Okay, he's kind of hit and miss, but in regards to Spartacus, all 4 of the other series, there's really good stuff, and he is responsible for a bunch of it. Okay. He'll also showrun this one, yes, which again hails from Lionsgate Television, which, yeah, the gang's all back together. But yes, Spartacus first started back in 2010. Oh, shit. 2010 was when Blood and Sand came out? Oh, fuck, okay. So, yeah, 2011 was Gods of the Arena. 12 was Vengeance, and then 13 was War of the Damned. And Blood and Sand was 13 episodes. Gods of the Arena was 6, and then Vengeance and War of the Damned were both 10-episode seasons. And they managed to turn those around all within a year, huh? Wow, how time has flown. But yes, as for the cast, it's like, okay, cool. After 15 years, Nick Tarabay is back as Ashur, and he was tremendous the entire time, okay? Even if he was given some interesting material, especially in the latter half of Vengeance, because in the first half, oh boy, some of the stuff that he was doing, especially with Animaeus, is really good stuff. I really liked it. Him, and also setting up another plot. Like I said, I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't got around to watch it, and especially, with the new series coming up, just reinvigorating attention to the series. You will not be disappointed if you haven't got a chance to watch it before. Like I said, I've only heard about it in passing mention, but I was very intrigued by Random Film Talks videos, and then yeah, just watching it, it's tremendous, absolutely tremendous stuff. But yes, he'll be joined by Graham McTavish. Oh my God, just another, like, a tremendous actor in and of himself, and another guy that, if you watch Spartacus, you're going to notice a conspicuous amount of people that have been in Lord of the Rings related projects, either stupid Rings of Power, or on the PJ side of life. Like, you're going to notice a conspicuous amount of crossover, and Graham McTavish, played Dwalin in the Hobbit movies. There's another one that you can add to the list. Tanika Davis as Achillia. Jordy Weber is Tarkon. Jamaica Vaughn is Hilaria. A bunch of people that I don't recognize, and I'm sure that there's probably some people. But Jackson Gallagher, he's coming back, huh? That'll be interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that character was in War of the Damned, but because I guess this is a different timeline, but I guess he still would have been. Anyways, no, okay, my mistake on that one. But the House of Ashur is described by Starz as a thrilling, erotic, history-bending roller coaster experience. Yeah, just like it was before. But yes, the plot synopsis. Welcome to the House of Ashur. No longer a slave, Ashur has clawed his way to power, owning the same ludus that once owned him, but ruling a band of merciless gladiators is child's play compared to surviving the savage world of Roman politics, a cutthroat game in which which betrayal isn't a sin, it's currency. He flips tradition on its head by unleashing Achillia. Oh god, a fierce and powerful gladiatrix, eager to prove herself worthy in a man's world. For fuck's sake, she is gonna end up being the fucking Spartacus, or the Spartacus equivalent, because, yeah, I mean, Variety has a bunch of production stills that are out there, and again, you know, got Graham McTavish as the Doctore. That's, like, I really like that. And the first, okay, you know, shout out the first white Doctore in the series, because you had Peter Mensa, who is awesome. Like, Animaeus is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And then before him, you had fucking Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett is Doctore for 2 episodes, who could have been even more excellent. Like, if we get a prequel, I don't really want any more, actually, to be completely honest, but I really hope that this is good, because, yeah, some of it, it's like, yeah, it's looking like it's going to be keeping on from the tradition. Like, you got a pretty attractive cast, and then you got, yeah, female Spartacus who's doing same type of fighting style that Spartacus and Gannicus had, you know, with the Daimakerai fighting style. And it's like, yeah, what the hell are we doing? And we see that she's going up against what I would imagine is probably going to be the Crixus archetype, because he's fighting Mamillo, the one sword, the big oblong shield. But okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What was the inspiration after the nearly 15-year-long hiatus from the series? Okay, after you wrapped up and tied everything up all nicely in a bow, what makes you want to expand on this on the world of Spartacus? That alternative take of late-stage Roman Republic, early Roman Empire mythology. Well, Spartacus showrunner reveals what brought him back to the new series after taking a decade to recuperate. During an interview with Entertainment Weekly, returning showrunner Stephen S. DeKnight talked about the process of revisiting the franchise and why it took so long to do. During the interview, DeKnight revealed one of the reasons that he kept saying no year after year is because making Spartacus was a big challenge, with several cast members, tons of extras, and an epic scale that evokes the Gladiator films. Well, it initially tried to evoke a lot of 300, but it ended up doing it way better than Zack Snyder ever could. And the original 1960s drama, the show was ambitious in ways that were not too common at the time of the show's release. DeKnight further explained, I think I needed a decade to recuperate from the original experience, which was wonderful, but just a grueling and emotionally gut-wrenching. And, well, in hearing some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, especially with the earlier seasons of Spartacus, Stephen S. DeKnight he's kind of a guy that holds a grudge against critics, okay? He was talking about some of the early reactions, especially to Blood and Sand, about how there's no character development and how everything's all shallow. It's just all blood and boobies and unnecessary gore. But he's like, oh yeah, they don't know what we're doing, okay? They don't understand the genius that we had. And honestly, he was kind of right to be cocky, because by the end of Blood and Sand, it's like, okay, this is one of the best shows ever written. So yeah, you're kind of right to be justified. And by the time Gods of the Arena came around, you know, critics started to understand that, oh shit, this is a little bit more than just the sword and sandal, blood and tits show. There's actually some, like, really good character development and excellent acting on display. But apparently Steve, yeah, he's kind of carried that forward, and now he's got that arrogance. And honestly, for as much as it's nice to see some of the old showrunners coming back, and, you know, they really want to continue this story, be careful what you wish for. The classic example at this point in time, hey guys, you remember, because, you know, it's kind of hit a dry spell right now, so just bring him back, the showrunner that revived Doctor Who, okay, after like a 20-year hiatus, okay? Russell T. Davies is obviously the right guy for the job, right? Yeah. Seeing how that worked out. And Stephen S. DeKnight, okay, now that he's coming back, now that he's big happy about, you know, Spartacus, House of Ashur. And what do you see with this first tweet that's back? And yeah, back when the trailer first dropped at the end of July, yeah, he was going on a spree, okay? But the first one that you see right there, he's on an anti-ice screed. He's posting Trump and Epstein pictures. But yeah, this came out the day after the trailer dropped, right? In regards to somebody saying that Spartacus has gone woke or something like that, and this was his defense. Major same-sex relationships. Yeah, there was a gay relationship in every single season, okay? He had Agron and Nasir and Vengeance and War of the Damned. Then he had Barca and Pietros and Blood and Sand and Barca and, oh god, I forget the guy's name, in Gods of the Arena. But yeah, no, it was there, and it was justified, and it was fine. Even though in the case of Agron, he ends up becoming a little bit one note. Kind of like Crixus, but that's another discussion for another time. And women fighting in the war, Naevia, Mira, and Saxa. Yeah, Mira was only effective when she started to use ranged weaponry. Okay, Saxa, I think her powers got way overinflated. And Naevia, if it wasn't for just, you know, Ashur acting like a complete fucking retard, the only other big conflict she gets into, spoilers, it ends up taking her life. So I just wonder. I wonder, because you could do this. He did it. Stephen S. DeKnight. He was capable of accurately depicting all of this stuff. The lower class fighting for freedom against a wealthy Roman patriarchy. You had all of this stuff. You had all of these themes present throughout the first run of your series. Is it going to be accurate this time around? Or, okay, for these women fighting in the war, these female gladiators, which there weren't any in the first series, is it going to be an accurate representation of that, where they're being opportunistic? Or are you just going to have your diverse female protagonist beat the fuck out of our more physically capable gladiators? I'm going to be paying attention to this. Don't press me on anything, but I'm kind of working towards, and maybe we'll be doing something in regards to the release of this show when it comes out December 5th, because I really like the first 4 seasons, and this one could end up pissing me off quite a bit. So stay tuned as we get more information on this, because I want it to be good. I just think it's going to be kind of like the revival of several other franchises over the past few years. Utter dog shit. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.